Good evening, Rotorua, tonight on City News. Police are investigating 2 fatal crashes in the region. Paul Holmes in town tomorrow to promote his new book. And tickets to Ireland versus Russia are expected to sell out. Those stories and more in detail tonight on City News. Bay of Plenty police are investigating the death of 2 pedestrians in separate accidents in the region. Early yesterday morning, police attended a collision between a car and pedestrian on Waioika Road, 6 kilometres west of Opotiki. The pedestrian died at the scene and the serious crash unit is investigating. And at 4 a.m. yesterday, Tokoroa police attended a collision between a vehicle and pedestrian on State Highway 1 north of the township. 1 person died and 2 were injured. Tokoroa police continue their investigation into that crash. Senior Sergeant Denton Grimes, team leader of traffic in Rotorua, says pedestrians need to take care, especially if walking on unlit roads. He says the weekend's accidents are still being investigated, but people are responsible for their own safety on the roads.
People know, hey, you've got to be responsible, even if you're walking. But you see it just with pedestrians anyway, failing to look when they cross the road and they're sober, during the middle of the day. So, yeah, everyone's got to take responsibility in what they do.
Police investigations continue into the causes of the accidents. Attention will be focused on people living with dementia this week when the world recognises World Alzheimer's Day on Wednesday the 21st of September. Every year, World Alzheimer's Day unites people living and caring for those affected with dementia around the world. Lynn Suter from Alzheimer's New Zealand says World Alzheimer's Day is a time when associations take part in activities to raise money and awareness of dementia. She says it's an important time for people living with a dementing illness.
It's just remembering what this disease is, trying to remove the stigma attached to it and be out there to support anybody who's affected by a dementing illness, whether it be the client themselves or the family members. Because for everyone diagnosed with a dementia, there are between 3 and 8 other people affected.
World Alzheimer's Day is on Wednesday, the 21st of September. It hasn't taken long for Paul Holmes' masterfully crafted book Daughters of Erebus to resonate with the New Zealand public. After just 6 days on sale, Daughters of Erebus shot straight to #1 on the New Zealand bestsellers list. The book, which chronicles events surrounding the tragic crash of Air New Zealand Flight TE901 in Antarctica in 1979, as well as the highly controversial aftermath, has been an obvious hit with the public and critics alike. Paul Holmes, who worked on the book for more than 18 months, is delighted with how well it has been received. He says it's such an important story that so much of what happened was so wrong. Paul Holmes is in Rotorua tomorrow evening from 5:30 at the Rotorua Public Library to talk about his book. Entry is by gold coin donation. In sport tonight, the last few tickets to this Sunday's game between Ireland and Russia are expected to be snapped up and sold today as the Irish continue to celebrate their upset win against Australia in Auckland on Saturday night. Once all tickets to Sunday's game go, it will be the first sold-out provincial match. Rotorua International Stadium has a capacity of around 25,500 people, and Rotorua is expected to turn it on for the fans this weekend. Martin Croft from Events and Venues says there are a number of events in town to excite locals and visitors alike.
We know that there's lots of tickets been sold for that, so we're expecting a huge turnout in town on that day. So prior to the game, a couple of places to be. One in Tanakai Street, just outside Hennessy's Bar. We're closing the street there. We're going to have a number of activities that people can get involved with and enjoy. There's also racing up at Arawa Park. We know the Irish are going to love their racing, and I'm sure that's going to be a popular spot for people to go to, so plenty of entertainment up there. There's also a bit of rugby down on the village green, and that's early in the morning, and people can come down to watch that.
The Ireland-Russia Rugby World Cup game is on Sunday the 25th and kicks off at 6 p.m. And it wasn't quite as many as the 2,000 on opening night, but nonetheless 1,300 fans of all ages turned out Friday night to Rotorua's free family fan zone at the Energy Event Centre to watch the All Blacks take on Japan. The evening was hosted by local movie star Tim Wera-Morrison, and before the game started, rugby fans were treated to a visit by Team Samoa, who have become firm favourites of Rotorua residents. But even they didn't get the biggest cheer of the night. That was reserved for the Japanese scoring their one and only try against the All Blacks. To your weather now, Rotorua and the surrounding area. Tonight, evening rain, northerly, then late southwest. Overnight, a low of 4. Tomorrow, Tuesday, fine, southerlies dying away, a high of 13 and low of 0. Outlook for Wednesday, mainly fine, westerly breezes, a high of 14 and low of 7. Marine forecast for Lake Rotorua for Tuesday, southwest easing to 20 knots in the morning and to 10 knots at night. Waves half a metre easing at night and fine. If you've missed any of tonight's bulletin, you can watch it again by going to tvrotorua.co.nz and click on the View Latest City News link. Or to view what's on in our city, click on the Upcoming Events link. Coming up after the break, Te Ako Waka talks about the work of the Prisoners Aid and Rehabilitation Service. More from Martin Croft on Rugby World Cup events, and Lynn Souters tells us about World Alzheimer's Day.